All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I have Josh, the Red Beast Pretorius, here on SA Boxing Talk. Josh, welcome back to SA Boxing Talk. In the heavyweight division, obviously, we've got a couple of new contenders, Shaun Potgieter being one of them. What's your feelings ahead of this fight on December 9th?
Hey, thanks for having us back. We're looking forward to it. For the first time in a while, I've had some actual rest. It hasn't just been camp on camp. So we're looking very, very forward to it and excited to get back in the ring.
I've got to ask, because like the Bridgerweight division's now, coming into popularity. Have you been one of those guys that's considered, maybe stepping into that division?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm one of those people, I wouldn't say I'm fat, but I'm big boned. So I don't think I'll make the Bridger. I'm naturally just a bit heavy for that division.
Okay, so heavyweights it is. We're going to stick it out. And obviously you got your assignments against Shaun Potgieter. Josh, yourself, coming as you said, you're well rested. You're coming off a layoff since May. How are the preparations gone for this fight?
Yeah, no, I'm very well rested. Forgive me if I miss a bit of the questions. The signal's a bit bad our side here. I think it's this KZN heat wave we're having. Everything's melting away at the moment. Potgieter, I'm more worried about Gert than I am Shaun. He's arguably one of the best coaches in the country at the moment. He's sharp. He knows what he's doing. He knows what to look for, and he trains his boxers well. So at the end of the day, I think I'm fighting Gert's head, but Shaun's body. So yeah, no, we're looking forward to it.
All right, and I don't know if you watched Potgieter's last fight. It was a very close fight against Yusuf Mwanza. And if you did, do you have an opinion on that fight?
If I can be honest with you, I haven't seen Shaun fight, to be 100% with you. I saw a small clip of I'm not sure he was fighting. It could have been Velalem. It was on the Golden Glove Bull, I think it was. But I don't really, guys I'm about to fight, it gets you, or for me at least, it gets you in a bad mindset because you start focusing on what they're doing. I've done a lot of that in my past, and I've had some bad experiences focusing too much on what the other guys are doing. This training camp, we've been focusing on what's comfortable for me. We've done a factory reset, gone back to what I'm happy with doing, what I'm comfortable with doing. So yeah, I'm not really focused on the other guys anymore. More myself, making sure I'm happy, making sure I'm comfortable, and yeah, I think that's just going to make us a lot better.
I also wanted to ask about, in previous camps, you went to the Bonyembe gym and you were training out there in Gauteng as well for a little bit. Are you not doing that for this camp? Because I haven't seen any posts about that.
No, this has been a much better camp for me. You see the amount of toll you take traveling up country, getting sparring, coming back to KZN. You know, we don't like flying. It's either on a boat or on 4 wheels or 2 wheels. But so it takes a lot out of you. Don't get me wrong, there's good sparring in Joburg. It just hasn't been good sparring for me specifically. So what we've done with this training is I've got my sparring here in KZN. And we're just focusing on us. I know what type of fighter I am and what type of fighter I should be, instead of trying to mimic other sparring partners, to learn different tricks of the trade from other people. I think it's just better I hone in on myself and comfortable with what I'm doing.
And you are the former South African heavyweight champion. Much respect to you for that. Obviously, you've been there and you've done that. And I'm assuming that this is a way back to try get onto that path. Correct me if I'm wrong. Are you on that mindset that you want to get back to the SA title? Is there another route that you want to take?
There's no specific route planned out for us. Like everyone knows, I don't have a padded path. I've never gone out looking for easy fights. I've never gone out looking for hard fights. For some other reason, the big guys always want to pick on me, and I'm happy to get in the ring and get picked on. I think we've done our part. Initially, our goal was the S, and it's on my record. The belt is in my cupboard. I've got the SA and the ABU title. No one can take it away from me. So we're in a very nice sporting history book with the greats. So whether people like me, don't like me, believe it or don't believe it, we've done it, we've been there. So at the moment, this is a way of getting back in. boxing in South Africa particularly hasn't been the best as of late. Some promoters and provinces, we all know what's going on there, and it's very, very difficult. I had a fight set up in the DRC. We were busy loading out our luggage onto to get on the plane. That was cancelled right there, and then I went straight back into a camp for the Jean Roux fight. Got home straight back into a camp for Thompson. Got home straight back into a camp for Gomes. We haven't had time to rest. We are heavyweights. We take a bit of a toll. There's big shots coming through. Your body needs to rest. So at this point in time, I've had a good rest. I'm eager to get back in the ring. At a point that just every day's work. It wasn't something that was. I wasn't enjoying the sport as much as I did in the beginning because it was just repetitive. There was no breaks. There was no rests. It's just constantly your body's in training. I've had a good rest now of. Myself dik gevreet, is that back down to weight now, had family time. So we're just looking forward to get back in the ring, taking back our number one position, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
Talking about big opponents and, being big, we've seen that Ruan Visser has joined us again in the heavyweight division. Is that a fight that interests you?
Yeah, no, I see. Ruan is back in the scene. I'm very happy for Ruan. He's been gone for quite some time. It mixes up boxing and the heavyweight division a bit. The heavyweight division is very thin of fights out there. There's not a lot of different fights out there, at least. So it's good to have an old face back in a new game, if I could put it like that. If that's a fight, it had to be. I fought the tallest guys. I fought the biggest guys. Bar for one opponent, I'm always the shorter guy and the smaller guy. So, it is what it is.
I must say, though, the night that you became SA champion, I'm sure you take a lot of cues from that fight, where you were countering effectively. Nothing seemed to have phased you on the night. You just boxed to your game plan and to your strengths. Is that something that you implemented back into your training camps?
Look, the fight with Jean, we had a game plan, and for the most of the part, I stuck to the game plan. So, I don't know. It was hard work going into it. I knew John is a tough cookie. I mean, you can't take it away from the guy. When he's got his mind to it, it's a tough guy. But in the same breath, John was easy picking with our game plan. But once again, we weren't focusing on us. We were focusing on Jean. I didn't focus on myself. I focused on Chris and Gomes. And it's the worst thing I've done. I like to fight, but when you're focusing so much on other guys, your brain switches into this technical mode where you've got to parry this and counter that, and you've got to slip here and like that. Your feet have. It's not me. We get in the ring, we fight. I am who I am. Ginger power. I don't know. I guess you put it like that.
Which points to my next question then, because obviously you enjoy fighting, but at this point in your career, are you happy getting into the ring? Is this something, because you're now 30 years of age? You're entering the prime years of what most heavyweights are. Are you happy now in the sport of boxing? I know you got the belts, but continuing now going forward in your career.
Look, let's put it like this. Boxing in South Africa is not great at the moment. It's difficult. At the same time, look at the Springboks winning the World Cup. It wants to motivate the youth of today to get into the sport. Your money's good. Your platforms are good. Your endorsements are good. Whereas in South Africa, it's a bit hard at the moment. Promoters cancelling, promoters not paying. I feel like I always say to people, business, I'm not really in it for the money. I can afford to pull myself through and go do camps and travel but you get the young guys coming to the sports that can't. They're borrowing money from a friend or from a family, and then the tournament gets cancelled. So it doesn't look very good on the sport. there's a few promoters that are always a joy to work with. Like there's Boxing 5 Promotions, Larry Weinstein. I'll tell you, fight offered, contract signed. I don't have a hinder of doubt in my mind. I know the fight's going on. I know the venue is good. We're getting looked after. There's constant follow. It just makes you as a sportsman or sports person just confident about what you're doing. In some of the other boxing promotions and companies out there, it's just a good vibe for boxing, and it is killing the sport a bit. So, the private guys are busy building up boxing for us again, and hopefully they get us back onto the level where we used to be. End of the day, yes, we're putting our bodies on the lines, we're putting our brains on the lines. We have, sponsorships that we have to brand, and they have to grow with us as we grow in the sport. And it just looks really bad when fights are getting cancelled and boxers aren't getting their purses, and the same old, same old. So hopefully very soon things will change, and I don't know, we can put boxing top tier of sport in South Africa.
Yeah, I think that's the hope for us all. And it's been a very sad year for boxing. I think overall, it's as you mentioned with the cancellations, and a lot of people are affected by this. It's obviously you one of the people, and you can at least tell your story as well, because we've seen the news articles, we've seen the inserts. It's been a rough year, I think, just in general for a lot of boxers. So yeah, sympathy to everyone that's in there. That's that might go have a Christmas without without their fight checks. That's another thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what frustrates most about the sport. I mean, if you're a guy or a woman, proud that you're a national sportsman and you're coming out of a rural area and you really don't have the money to travel, and you get your first or second fight for very minimal money at that point in the starting point of your boxing career, and you've borrowed money from your gogo or your best friend or whatever, and all of a sudden you don't get your cancellation fee because the rules aren't followed. You don't get your purse because the promoter never followed the standard of our boxing law, and there weren't purses paid before I think it's 30 or 31 days before the fight. It demotivates people to want to get in the sport. It demotivates private sponsors to want to climb in. And at the end of the day, you're just running the sport into the ground. And it's such a beautiful sport. It's a chess game. It's an intimate sport. It's two people in a ring. You've got the guys moving the pawns, and the chess pieces are sitting in the corner telling us what to do. And it just looks horrible when the state of boxing is where it is at the moment.
I want to ask then, if it wasn't Boxing 5 or another big promoter out there that would have given you assurance of a fight, would you have taken another fight under one of the smaller promoters?
The honest and truthful answer to that question is I won't fight in KZN again, unless it was backed by someone, a private boxing promoter that's not reliant on boxing in South Africa, like Boxing 5 Promotion or Golden Gloves or Jackie Bryce Boxing Promotions. These guys, they're going out of their way to get private sponsors to fund the bulls. And even so, I know from previous experience on other bulls, the private guys are even struggling because it's just so hard to get the fight sanctioned, and they want these funds and they want these monies, and this has to be done before that. But then you come to a province like KZN, which really has good fighters and produces brilliant fighters, but there's nowhere for us to go in KZN at the moment for fighting. It's all reliant on funding from the government or whatever it is, and it's just a moment. It's more money-making racketeering scheme than what it is something to push a sport and do something for the province. If you look at Gauteng, yeah, there are here and there bad promoting, but even the guys that are reliant on funding like that still put the tournaments together. It might be a bit demakar and a bit here and there, but the tournaments still go on, and the boxers don't get dropped 2 days before the fight on a WhatsApp group like we're doing here in KZN. So I I won't fight in KZN again. I am telling you, I'm absolutely ecstatic to box in Boxing 5. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. I've seen the productions, and yeah, we're looking forward to this fight.
Awesome, man. It has been good chatting to you as well. But do you have a message for Shaun Potgieter before you step in the ring with him?
My message to Potgieter: look, I know being who we are and always going into the backyard of these guys. Um, I know how the boxing game works. I've been in it for quite some time now. I know Shaun is new to the game. Um, he is the number one contender. We are coming for the number one spot. I'm not expecting to win on points. I know that never really goes well for me when it goes to points. I'm in his backyard. I know with the refereeing and um, boxing in South Africa, I've learned that relying on just my fit, which I mean, I've done a bunch of 12 rounders, I've done a bunch of 8 rounders. I'm not worried about fitness at this point in time. But I know if it's going down to the wire and it's going down to points, most likely I won't get the win on points. So I can't rely on that. My fitness as a safety net. I have to rely probably on a stoppage as my safety net. So this is where I'm heading, and this is what I'm planning, and we'll see on the night how it goes. And I need.
Oh, there we go. All right. Thank you very much, Josh. Sorry, you just broke up for the last 2 seconds there, but I got the gist of what you were saying. You'll see what happens on fight night. You're going for the knockouts. I got you there. So, Josh, the Red Beast, former South African heavyweight champion, thank you very much for joining us on SA Boxing Talk. And you'll be fighting on December 9 against Shaun Potgieter in a heavyweight clash. That is a mouth-watering clash, one of the best fights on the bill. Josh, anything last you want to say? Any thank yous, any shout-outs?
Shout out to my old man, my coach. He's absolutely killing me in the middle of the heat wave we're having here in KZN. I'm telling you, 40 degrees plus at the moment. It's absolutely ridiculous. The humidity is way off the charts.
Yes.
My sponsors, Quinn, they do all my clothes. I've got, the site here. I've got TJ Architect, Ndaba Lodge, Northern Patrollers, Security, SK Design Line. My sponsors keep me going. If I need something, the drop of a hat, these guys sort me out. So even with the downtime when we're taking a rest, they're still looking after me. My brother, breaking ribs and knocking him out with the bodysuit for a bit of sparring every now and then. So a big shout out to him and the family. And thank you to Larry Weinstein from Boxing 5 Promotions for allowing us this opportunity to fight on his bull.
100%. Thank you very much, Josh Pretorius. We'll see you on December 9. Let's see the heavyweight clash, the showdown. All the best.